Good morning, bookers. Welcome to What the Book on this Sunday morning. Look, it's overcast. I've got washing on the line, so that's definitely going to mean that it's going to rain. Of course, you're hearing Cynthia Sullivan, international best-selling author from Australia. I have new headphones on, so I'm really hoping it comes through okay. If not, I'm screwed. MB Davis, co-host, is in the house. Good morning, Mark.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm here, and you probably noticed something different about today.
Oh, are you wearing?
Am I? I did not post a beer.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
And I'm gonna tell you why real quick while we're waiting for everyone else to dial in here. So this week has been terrible. I'll tell you why it's been terrible. It's because I have been betrayed. I have been stabbed in the back.
Oh, good Lord! Oh, this sounds serious.
Someone very close to me, and I'm gonna name him. I'm gonna name him out. And I don't normally do this because I'm a nice person.
Name and shame. Oh, this is good. Oh, what's it going on? Who is it?
Someone has stabbed me in the back. Someone that's known me since I was little. Someone that's been with me my whole life and now has walked out just because I've gotten older. Just because I'm 48 now, and my metabolism has stabbed me in the back, has left me stranded. I'm telling you right now, it's a son of a bitch.
Welcome to middle
I'm now on a
age.
diet. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
It sucks. It sucks. Look, I know. I'm feeling it because you get to, like, I don't eat anything more than I've ever eaten. I don't, like, I look at my diet and think, it's okay. What's wrong? It's balanced. It's got everything it's supposed to be in there. I stay away from copious amounts of shit that I would like to indulge in, but I don't. And yet the body still goes, nah, we're storing that shit. Like, my ass doesn't need to get any bigger. It really doesn't. It's rude.
But I don't know how you can eat like so much of the quote unquote good food and you're never full. Like, how am I never full? I'm still hungry.
And I'm hangry.
Like,
You get hangry.
And so angry. I'm so angry. Okay, all right, I'm good. I'm fine. Take a deep breath.
Fun.
It's gonna be okay.
Of course.
You sound really fun.
Before we get to our gorgeous guest, our other co-host, author Peyton Storm is in the house. Good morning, Peyton.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. What's up? I mean, I can, obviously, because I just answered you, but it's very quiet.
How about now?
No, it's still really quiet. Is it? Oh, hang on, sir, can hear you. How come I can't hear you?
I don't know. Like, I'm looking
at no, there it is.
Like,
I gotcha.
my little circle doesn't even light up.
Oh, no, I can hear you. Am
I good?
Oh, no, just barely. Sir, just barely hears you. Of course, those in the house, Sir, Tio, who else did I see that had wandered in there? My gorgeous friends. That's it for the moment, Sarah and Tio. Love you both. Yeah, no, I can hear you, Peyton, but we'll have to wait to see what the boys say in the studio.
Yeah, just tell me.
Okay. Oh, congratulations on your release. Of course, Hell's Bells was released on Thursday. Our gorgeous bookers, get out there, buy it, support indie authors. We love them. Hell's Bells by Peyton Storm. Of course, book 2 in her series. Bye review. Loved that.
Second book.
Loved that review this morning, Peyton. How beautiful was that?
Oh, the message?
Yes.
Are you talking about the message? Yes, that was the sweetest thing. Yes. The reviews are already coming in. I wasn't expecting that until after the weekend. So that was a great little surprise for me today.
I know. It's just, I don't know. Those. Why I can hear myself. Somebody's got me on reverb. I really hate my own voice. But those little messages that we get that just, I don't know, they fill the cup. They fill your soul wider cup instantly when somebody says, hey, I read your book and I loved it. And I mean, it could just be one person that month, but I tell you what, that one person is your most favorite person ever in that month, because they fill that soul, that need. for somebody.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. Maybe it's just me. I could be. It's weird.
No, it's definitely not just you. I love it. It just, they seem to come at like the perfect time. So it was really great.
Absolutely. Now we have somebody's got me on reverb. I'm gonna have to sort this out. We have a guest today, a beautiful guest. I can't wait. I'm really super excited to speak to this person. Complicated. I dug into her skeleton closet and poked around a little bit, rearranged some stuff. Had had a little wet word in there. I'm super excited to hear the accent as it comes through. Of course, we're talking to Emily Inkpen today. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening. Or no, hang on, it's after midnight, so it's also good morning to you, Emily Inkpen. Welcome to What the Book.
Well, it's lovely to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
God, I love the accent. That's it. I'm done.
Right?
Isn't it cute? It's so sweet. Oh, I love it. What part of the UK are you in?
I'm just outside London. Yeah.
Talk to me more, Emily. I'll just sit back and listen.
I'll just read a story. I'll just sit here and read you a story. That'll be.
I feel like I'm talking to Nanny McPhee. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Oh my God.
Isn't it?
I mean, I could have come up, I think, with maybe better like examples.
What's wrong with Nanny McPhee?
Nanny McPhee?
I like Nanny McPhee.
No.
It's like maybe like Hermione Granger or something. Let's come
there
up.
We go. Something, yeah.
Better example. I feel you. Babe.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can do better than Nanny McPhee.
Hermione Granger is cool. I could go with Hermione Granger. Sure. Yeah.
God, for all those people who are loving on Nanny McPhee at the moment, I'm taking this as a personal offence. I'm insulted to the deep parts of my soul right now. Oh my God.
Oh no.
I know, that's it. Don't get me on my soapbox. All right, Emily Inkpen, sci-fi author, scriptwriter, poet, and general word nerd. I love a good word nerd. Now,
yes.
Tell me, all right, we'll start right from the beginning because this is where everything starts from. It makes sense. Before we get into the Dex Legacy, I swear to God, I've been practicing it all morning, and yet what do? Fuck it up on the first thing in, and I stuff it up. Before we get into the Dex Legacy, how did you get into writing? Where did your love come from? How did you go from, I think I might write a book to actually, hey, I'm writing a book? How did this happen for you?
Woo, okay, so I wrote my first stories when I was like a kid. I wrote my first book when I was 12. And it took all of 48 hours. Yeah, I was.
Stop it.
It was not good. And no, seriously, it took me like 48 hours to realize it was terrible. And then I went through my first writer's pit of despair when I was 12 years old. And the one, like everybody has it. But I got that out of the way when I was 12 years old. And the first one was like a high school story, and then after the initial pit of despair, I then went on to write a bloodthirsty horror story straight after.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Call that a rebound and a half.
Nice.
So later on, I didn't really write anything serious for a long time, and then a few years back, something really clicked with some characters that I'd been playing with and mulling over since I was 15 years old. And it was weird. There was just this moment and everything clicked. And then it was like the world sort of unfolded in front of me, and I knew the entire story and I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I wrote the entire first draft in 3 months.
Nice.
So
wow.
It was one of those moments.
That's awesome.
Now I get it because I'm just sitting there going, oh yeah, I know that feeling. But it's that feeling of it falling into place, knowing that this is what you have to do, that book has to be written by you.
Yes.
Did you Okay. Did you accept the challenge with courageous, like, fortitude, or perhaps did you go, oh God, can I do that? You know, which it's sort of like one side of the fence or the other. I've with with authors that we've interviewed here, they either go, when they discover that they finally commit to the fact that I'm going to write a book. It's either, yes, it's going to be, I'm doing it, or they spend the entire time going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh no. Which way did you go?
Well, I 100% went into it. Like, once I had that moment, the moment happened at about 11:30 at night, and I had work the next day, and I would have got on with it right then in that moment, but I couldn't. And then I sort of, my main fear with it was that I wouldn't get it done, or that I would put it down and then not pick it up again, and I'd lose momentum, and I think that's why it happened so fast, because I was fueled by pure fear. I think was the thing. I was just writing every moment that I possibly could, and I think I just needed to finish a book, you mentally need to know that you can finish it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was scared of never getting to that point. And once I got to that point and I knew I could finish it, like, I've written the sequels 2 and 3 now, and they were a very different experience. But that first experience, my God, it was like an episode of Total Wipeout when you just run for it and hope that speed is going to see you through. It was
Absolutely.
It was nuts.
Racing the clock, just like living on a prayer that you can possibly finish this. Now, actually, it's an interesting thing because Mark here, MB Davis, of course, just not that long ago did that final leap to the finish line. How did that feel, Mark, when you finally wrote the end, or whatever line that people choose to end their book, when you finally knew that you had accomplished, because you have said before that, you've been writing for 5 years, that you finally accomplished that goal, that I have written a book factor. How did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's exhilarating when you finally finish, and this thing that you set out to do, you got there, right? And I had set out to do that exact thing with a couple of other books, a couple of other projects that I'd worked on, and hadn't made it all the way to the end. And so, that's the number one rule that they tell you in writing. It's like, you've got to finish what you're writing. You got to finish. That's number one. Nothing can. It can be terrible, but you've got to finish. You can always fix it later.
But, all right. But so, okay, this question for everybody, how, on those moments where, and I mean, we all have them, it doesn't matter whether it's your first book or your 50th book or your 100th book, it doesn't matter. You have those moments of, this story's not working. It's not working. I don't love it anymore. The characters aren't talking. I'm not feeling it. I'm not whatever. We all have those moments. How do you push through it? Peyton, how do you push through that moment of, they aren't talking, it's not working, I don't love it?
I have just a couple little things that I do. Anytime I hit that block and I'm just, kind of frustrated with the story, I break away from the writing itself and look at something that it involves the story, but not direct writing. So one of the things that I really enjoy doing when I get stuck like that is I will do like mood boards. I will do soundtracks. I will do even like interview a character and just try to reset. I'm always doing something that relates to the book, even if I can't write the words. So I'm always doing something. I mean, even if I'm just looking for character inspiration, a lot of times it's that simple little thing that I come across that sparks a new scene or sparks a conversation between my characters. So I'm always working on the book. I just don't always have a pen in my hand.
Interesting.
And that works for me.
But you don't, but you don't go to another book. You stay with the same book that you're working on.
when I was writing Hell's Bells, there was a time where I was just kind of like, you know, and I just needed a minute. And so I broke and wrote like a very short erotic story just to kind of
I love
keep
it.
the thing, you know, yeah, just to kind of keep, you know, my creativity going. And that kind of
Right.
triggered some ideas on things and I hopped right back to it. So, I
Interesting.
mean, I think it just depends. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I don't like to get away from the writing altogether
Yeah.
because just like she mentioned, I have that same fear that if I step too far back, um, it's going to be hard to get back to it because I've already had that fear because there was such a big gap between my book one and my book two
Mm.
because of course COVID hit right when I released book one, and then there's hurricanes where I live. So it was like one thing after another, and I was like, I can't do this right now. So that's why there's such a big gap between book one and two. So now I'm kind of feeling that pressure to get book three out
Don't feel the pressure. You're right when
much
you're right.
sooner.
Honestly, if I have to give advice, that's it. Do
Well, I
not.
mean, a
It
little
kills.
secret.
Yeah.
A little secret, it's done. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
not.
know. You're sneaky. You're sneaky.
But I'm not 100% sure it's done.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now. So yeah. So it's a
Interesting.
thing.
Emily, how did you, when you get to that point, that same question that I don't love it, I don't want to write it anymore, it's not talking to me, I'm not feeling it, but you, like half of you feels that and the other half goes, but you got to finish a goddamn book. How do you get past that point?
Well, okay, so very much like you said, you know, you just got to finish it. But I had that moment. My cousin's husband is a guy called Herbie Brennan, and he's written and had published over 100 books. And I've never met him before. I knew he was part of the family, and I went to a family gathering, and he was there. And I was like, oh, I'm a writer, and and he said, well, have you got anything finished? And I said, no, I get to like halfway through, and then I lose faith in it and everything. And he just took me by the shoulders and just said, just finish it and don't worry.
That's it.
And that was it. And it's exactly that. And I mean, if I could crochet that and put it above my desk, that's basically, it saw me through. So there were moments where I was like, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I am pantsing this
Yes.
to,
We'll get back to that one.
but yeah. But, I mean, I was like, just finish it and don't worry, you just got to keep going.
See, this is the beautiful factor between a gorgeous London lady who's like, well, we'll just finish the book and we'll crochet that, just finish the book. Where the crass Aussie girl sitting over here wants, written, I want to cut it out in newspaper writing like a serial killer, just write the fucking book. Just put that above my,
For the record, I have never crocheted anything in my life. Just like...
Oh my God, I love it. But you're very true. It's very true. You have to write. My number one advice to anybody who's challenging this sort of stuff is just simply write the book. Just write the book. It doesn't matter. You can't edit what you don't have. Write the fucking book, then sort it out later. It's really simple. And it doesn't matter if it makes sense. It doesn't matter if it's out of place, if it's unjointed. It doesn't have to be perfect. The first draft is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But you can't make it perfect. You can't make it right unless you have it done. So that has to be the golden rule, is just get it out and then clean it up afterwards. Whenever I have that moment of I'm not feeling it, characters aren't talking, I don't want to write the book, I go do housework. My characters hate it. They hate it because they're just like, what? That's more important. The oven cleaning is more important than me. I'm like, well, you ain't talking, so, oven needs to be clean. I hate cleaning the oven, but I swear to God, the characters hate me doing it more than I hate doing it. And sure enough, I get to about halfway and off they start talking. housework is a great way to get my characters to start talking. It's so
So
weird.
do you finish cleaning the oven, or do you just leave it half finished and then the next time they stop talking you clean the other half?
I have teenagers that go, that's halfway done. You go do the other half. I'm done now. Tap it out. Tap it out. You want your pocket money? Earn it. Yes. No, Mark, what about you? When you got to, did you get, well, I suppose we all get to that point. At some point during the writing process, I'm not feeling it. I don't love it. I can't connect. What did you do?
Oh yeah, it happens multiple times. I'm way more laid back than you ladies. Okay, I will just take a step back and let it marinate, and I'll come back to it. But I don't have that same fear that it's not going to come. Like I'm not going to get to it. The only fear would be like, okay, well, if I die, then it's never, before it happens. But I'm on a diet. I'm on a diet right now, so I'm not really worried about that presently. So it'll happen, and I don't try and push it too hard, but I make sure when I look back and I say, okay, what have I done this month? What am I doing next month? I just make sure that I'm making forward momentum and continuing. I know it'll be finished. So I try not to beat myself up too much over it.
Absolutely.
Because if I know that I'm moving forward, it will happen. It will get finished.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And
I don't have the same.
See, I
I don't have
need
the
that
same
pressure, though.
desperation that y'all have, and I
Okay,
don't know that's
okay.
good or bad. Honestly, it might be a bad thing for me.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
I could use a little bit
No,
of
I
that.
get it. I get it because
I
I do understand the factor of, not beating yourself up. The problem is for myself, and I'll talk from a completely personal point of view, is that I have, between 4 to 6 books booked in with my editor 18 months ahead of time. So that's what I write every year is between 4 to 6 books per year. Now, I really don't like not meeting my dates. And those dates are booked in. And when you book in with editors, you have to get it done by that.
Yeah.
You're booking in, they're counting on your money. This is their occupation as much as it is yours, So you have, so that's my pressure is that I go, okay, I give myself X amount of months per book to get these things done. And while I can afford to take a day here and a day there and go, not feeling it, I'm going to give my head a break. Or, life gets in the road. For God's sake, life gets in the road all the time. But yeah, the pressure, I need the pressure. I have to have that
Yes.
date. I need that date to go, Sintra, pull your finger out. You gotta get it done. Emily, are you like that?
So I put myself under a lot of pressure to get it done. It's all completely self-inflicted. I don't actually like hard deadlines because at that point there's like this diva side of me that comes out and is like, don't rush me. So it's weird. It's like if you leave me to it, I will get it done super fast. But as soon as you say I have to do it by X date, there is a little bit of me that then resents it. But I am constantly going, and I think my main challenge is actually not going crazy with it. Like taking a day off is more difficult for me than like keeping on, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like I've done it before where I've just gone too far and then had and it has affected me, health wise and, mental health wise and stuff. I have to be quite careful. I think everybody does really balance wise. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why I switched. Like for me personally, I switched from setting daily goals to either weekly or like bi-weekly. That way I have both because I need both. I need that pressure. I need that end game. I need to know like where I need to be, but at the same time, like you said, I mean, life gets in the way and I need that flexibility. And I think that's helped me a whole lot to be able to balance those two, because I used to be like, I need to do, these many words this every day and blah, blah. And it was just, it got really bad. It was a lot for me. I took on way too
You're
much.
the queen of push though, Peyton. Honestly, you are the crown wearing of the hustle. Now the thing is though, like flexibility, you mentioned flexibility. I'm totally into flexibility. No, on Bookwise.
Wait, hey.
I know, I just delved a little bit down. I know, thank you, Emily, thank you. that's it's not a segue, Brian. No, it's not a segue. I'm pulling it back in. The flexibility for me is I make a commitment to sit in front of the laptop every day. Whether I get one word, whether I get 1,000 words, whether I get 5,000 words, it doesn't matter. The fact is I sit down and I get something down. So it's progress every day. It might just be the word and I have written the word and gone, no, I'm done, and shut the laptop and walked away. But it's one more word in my head. It's one more word than I had the day before. So it's moving forward. It's progress. That's how I keep my headspace. And the funny thing is, though, by making that commitment to get one word every day at a minimum, quite often that one word, even on a day when, I've had, maybe I've worked a 10-hour day and the kids are going nuts and whatever else, I will still honestly maybe put down 500 because that and turns into a little something. Whether I go back and tweak it the next day because it's not the 500 that I want, but it doesn't matter. It's still, to me, it's still progress. Yeah. That's how I kind of keep it in my head. I don't know.
That would be a good poll question too.
Yes.
We need to keep that one in mind because I'm really curious how other people approach that.
Yeah, we'll put that up this week. Now, Emily, tell me about the Dex legacy. I have to be careful with my tongue with that one. The Dex legacy. Tell me about it.
Okay, so the Dex legacy. Sorry, I casually. Amongst myself and the audio drama crew, we call it Dexy Times.
Dexy Times. I like it.
I love it.
That needs to be on stickers and on bookmarks. Welcome to do you want some Dexy Time? Yes, I do.
Yeah, we say it. The email headers are always like more Dexy Times coming up.
I love it.
Yeah. That might help you out. You can just call it
Dexy Time.
So Dex Legacy, it's based on my books, which are repped and in publisher submission at the moment, and it's an audio drama. So it's a very different thing to writing a novel, and it's set 11 years before the first book starts, so it's all prequel. And yeah, it's cool. It's a full cast audio drama. I do the writing of the scripts for it. I got a producer who does all of the beautiful sounds. Got an original soundtrack for it, which is kind of mind blowing. That's the Dex Legacy. It's been a really, really interesting ride. We got the whole first season out now.
The Blood Road is your first novel.
Yes.
God, I'm dumb. You got to pull it out for me this way. The Blood Road is book number 1, yes?
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is. Yes.
And the Dex Legacy is separate but connected?
Yeah, it's all the same characters but set 11 years before. So the premise is there's a weapons manufacturer who moved his company to an island and then named the island an independent nation and himself president. And he adopted 3 kids and gave them to his one of his pet scientists who made them into super soldiers. And the whole thing is like a gritty look at how super soldiers are made and the people behind them who like the minds behind the process and how it's inhumane in so many ways. And the characters, they in the books, they're about 26, 27. In the audio drama, they're like 15 and 16. So in the audio drama, we get a really close look at what was happening to them when they were teenagers. In the books, they're sort of looking back on what happened a lot of the time. In the audio drama, we're definitely like in the room when it's happening to them. And we get a real look into the people, like the Nathaniel Dex himself, who's the president, their adoptive father, and his associates who are doing this stuff to them. And it's kind of taken it in an interesting direction and given me an opportunity to explore things that I talk about in the books. So, things that happened in the past of these characters. And now I'm centering episodes on those events, which is really fun to do.
Oh, wow.
I have a question for you. So when you wanted to put this audio drama, because this is more work than an audio book. When you're talking an audio drama, because you've got music, you've got different people playing each of the characters. how do you for anyone that's interested in doing that, that's listening, how, as an author, and you're trying to push to get your stuff out there, how do you go about doing something like that? Where do you start?
So I was approached by a production company called Alternative Stories, and they're like an anthology podcast. They do different genres of different things by episode, and you just write for one episode. And I did one. They said, can we have something from your book? Can you convert something from your book? And I thought, well, if it gets picked up by a publisher and the editor wants to change something, I don't want that to then not be canon anymore. I'll do something from the past so that it can still stand, whatever happens, whatever the editor changes. So I did that. And the episode was like one of the most successful that year. Like, it didn't just disappear. Like, people were still listening to it at the end of the year and still commenting and everything. So we decided to make a full series. And the thing is the cast has got bigger. I mean, it started out with 7 people, which was already quite ambitious. We had 13 actors in one of the later episodes, which in an audio drama is pretty much unheard of. But it's a big cast show. I mean, we're talking about a military state, and you've got lots of people in this, involved in all the different departments, and you have to introduce these people slowly because otherwise people get overwhelmed. But yeah, there's a lot going on. As for how you would sort of say to writers to get into it, it's actually quite easy, because everything's really, we started this project in lockdown. So we got the actors involved, and you can find actors on Twitter, like you can put call outs for them. Our actors are all professional actors and everything. My producer has sources, but there are voice actors available all over the place, really good ones. And we did it all remotely. So, they recorded their lines, various versions of the lines remotely, sent them to us, cut them all together. I actually only met the producer, Chris Gregory, yesterday? No, the day before yesterday now. Yeah, for the first time. We've been working together for 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And I met him in real life like 2 days ago. Yeah. Yeah, so it's very possible to do it in a sort of, it's very possible to do it yourself, and it's very possible to do it without even leaving your house, basically. It can be very contained.
See, when you mention audio drama, to me, I mean, I'm not this old. Bookers, for those playing at home, I'm not this old, but when I hear audio drama, I always resort back to what my grandparents said. I'm not that old. Our grandparents used to tell, with the radio, that they didn't have TV, of course, and the radio dramas that they used to listen to. That I think that's just fantastic, and I just love it, and audio books are very similar in the fact that you can then listen to somebody reading it out to you, but then an audio drama is more that kind of traditional side of it, isn't it? It's not where
it's like writing a play.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you write all of this. This is your
yeah.
Oh my God, you're so talented. I love it.
That had to come with a deadline, and you just said you don't do well with that. How did that all work out for you? When you had these episodes, you had to deliver a script, right, for these audio drama episodes?
Yeah. So the first episode, obviously that was like a very sort of standalone thing, and then it was very casual, and the series sort of crept up on us. So I put out the first one, and a year later it was like, okay, we're going to have to do a sequel. So I did a second script, and then he was like, okay, we should talk more about this as a series. And I was like, well, I've got 3 scripts here for a potential trilogy. And then we decided to do a series, and it was only so until episode 3 was in production, I didn't know it was going to be 6 episodes long. So it was a very sort of ad hoc. Season 1 was very sort of ad hoc in the way it came about. But it does hang together pretty well. I don't know how the hell I pulled that off.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's very cool.
It does actually work. And then I've got for season 2, which I've already started writing. It's going to be very different. I guess it's sort of like writing book 1, as I said, was sort of like a pantsing kind of, you just go for it. And then writing book 2 and book 3, I kind of knew that I was capable of it I went about it in a more planned way. And I think that's how season 1 came about. Like, we didn't know about how it was going to go, where it was going to go, whether people would respond to it. We were working it out as we went along. Season 2 is going to be much more planned. I've got the whole arc sorted out.
Oh.
It's going to be a different ballgame.
Oh, you're blowing my mind right now. Brian, yeah.
I know. Same.
Brian's got a question that I wanted, because I like to make sure that our people in the studio get heard as well. He's asked, are the prequels, because you said that they're 11 years prior to the first novel, are they written as YA? Because the other books are NA. He just wants to know if the characters are aged in that 11 years.
Okay, so yes, the books. See, I would say no. The only reason I would say this is because, well, the books are definitely adult. Definitely, this is very gritty. It's quite violent. It's it's not for children in any way, shape, or form. But because in the audio drama, in the books, you've got just the point of view of the 3 kids who are adults.
Yeah.
But the 3 adopted children. In the audio drama, because we've got scene by scene, you can cut scene, we do see more from the adult's point of view. So it's not just from the point of view of the teenagers anymore, it's the adults talking about the teenagers, talking about the political situation. It's equal looks kind of at the sort of administration of the country and the children. Now, I would say with the children, yes, it is definitely more of a YA angle, but it definitely wouldn't please too many people to be categorized as such, because the kids are they've got a very YOLO attitude, and they're all just into sex way too much. And, it's I don't think it would please too many parents to find it on a YA bookshelf, to be honest.
Well, I've read some YA books that I've sat there and gone, yeah, gee, YA's got a little bit liberal lately, hasn't it? But, hey, I do have teenagers, so they're a very interesting bunch of people. And once they hit, even if you look at, general gradings, say movies and whatever else, once it hits M15 plus, it's virtually, until you get to an R rating, there's a lot that can happen in that, from 15 years on, that the viewing and the reading is considered a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So, YA isn't quite as, I don't think it's quite as rigid as it used to be. Excuse me.
Well, that's good to know, because, it was sort of inexplicable, like these, just kids who were doing incredibly adult things, but for some reason had zero sex drive. I always found it quite interesting.
Exactly. And I mean, they're not. They're, no. And they're out there and they're doing everything that adults would be doing, fortunately and or unfortunately, depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah.
So, it's fascinating that you're doing the audio series as well as the book writings. How do you balance the two of them together? Now, I'm not going to, Mark, for the record, I'm not going to ask the pantser plotter question, because she's already answered it. She started a pantser, went to a plotter. I got it. Not going to get on that.
Oh, well, no, I'm not a full plotter. I'm a lighting of the beacons writer.
I like that. That's a great term.
No, but it's the only way I can see it. It's like I can see what's going on over there, but how I get to it is kind of, but I know where I'm going. But yeah, it's not completely plotting. I'm not that person.
I really sucks to be you, Mark. You're still on your own little story all over by this.
She's lighting the beacons to Gondor. I guess.
What a great term, though. That's a really good term to have. That's a mid-range. That's a fence sitter, isn't it? It's a lighting the beacons writer. Yeah. I like that term, Emily.
But will Rohan answer? That's the question.
I don't know. Possibly. So where's Emily Inkpen going now? You've got books in submission. You've got the audio series on the go with the second season planned out already. Where is Emily Inkpen's future going with that?
Well, I mean, season 2 is, I mean, as I say, is already in production. I kind of got a bit hooked on the immediacy of it because obviously when you're submitting to publishers and everything, it can take a long time. And just getting something out there and getting something back from people regularly, and actually the feedback has been really great. It's been really nice to just have something going out there. And so that's, it's great. And season 2, it does take up a lot of your energy and time and everything as well, like writing these things. And then, you get your actors' lines coming through. You got to listen to it all. You got to say, yeah, these are the takes that I want. It's, it is almost like a full-time writing thing, like instead of saying, I'm going to get 500 words out today, you've got to think, okay, I'm going to listen to 2 hours of actors doing their lines and choose which takes I like. I mean, things for the audio drama have to kind of swap out for what would be considered typical writer goals, I guess. But that's all part of the directing, acting, and I act in it as well, so I also have to do those things.
Would it get at the start? I'm so intrigued. People, sorry.
Yes. I said, when does she sleep?
Yeah, well, there is that. But I'm curious. I'm curious because you said that you've got multiple takes. I have to dissect this down, guys. You just got to bear with me for a second because my brain's gone into overload on how this works. So you get multiple takes from the author, from the actors. Say one line that they might say 10 different ways, and you have to pick out the one that how you want it to be said, and then glue it up with other submissions from other actors. But then what if you go, I love the way you said that one and I love the way you said that one, but they don't work together. So do you have how do you adjust that? Oh God, it'd be like a puzzle, like a 10,000 piece puzzle that you'd have to try and get it together.
Well, I think that's where me and the producer actually worked together quite well on this, because he, for the first episode, did it all just himself, just listening to it and putting it together. But we've worked out that because I know the characters so well and I know their tone and I know what I'm going for with their voices, I now listen to it first. And what I do is I listen to all of the takes, and there's normally 3, or they'll do 7 or something. And I just put a number underneath the line in the script, and I'm like, okay, I like 1, I like 3, and I like 4. And then I go, and so I always give him an option between them. And then when he's going through, he listens to those 3 and then says, okay, this one works. So it's sort of like a narrowing down process between that we've sort of worked out between us. So I'm like, okay, they got the tone right in these ones, that tone could work, that tone could work. And then he picks the one that, when it comes to the conversation, flows really, really well.
See, that's where I was meaning, is that you'd have to not only pick the one that line sounds right, but then that line sounds right with the next line, with the next line, with the next line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'd have to be really. You guys must be really fastidious, really. I kudos to you, because I don't think my head could handle that. That's crazy good, though.
I don't think so. No, that's amazing, though.
It's very intense. And I'm going to say, actually, as a novel writer, normally you're writing in a vacuum, but when you're writing for audio drama, it's necessary to be collaborative. And I didn't necessarily know if I would play well with the other kids.
I don't play well. I don't play well with others. This is my problem.
Yeah, normally I don't. But then I realized, actually, me and the producer, Chris, we've got a really great creative partnership. And I value that so highly, because I think it is very rare. But we have managed to create something together. And it is really cool. And then, you get swept up in the process. And then it was after the last episode went out, and I thought, wow, I worked with somebody else, and that other person actually did what they said they would do, and actually did do the things that I needed them to.
I love it.
Normally when you start working with someone and then they end up ditching you halfway through the project, and then you have to pull all of the weight and get to the other side and everything. And that's been my experience of collaborative working before. But You know, yeah,
It's
like
like
not.
school projects. It's like
Yes.
Yes.
when you're the kid that has to do all the work because everyone
Yeah.
else kind of, yeah, I'll do this, and then they don't do it. You know, like the night before, you're like, oh shit, I got to get this done because so and so didn't do that. Oh, I
Yeah.
hate that.
That's what
Sorry, I'm still
that's
jumping
what
from
it feels like. I can't do collaborative writing. Well, no, I won't say I can't. I have yet to successfully write with somebody. I don't play well with others. Peyton, could you write with other people?
No. Okay.
Nope.
Zero hesitation. Zero.
No. I barely just exist with other people, let alone, No, I know me. I know me, and there's just, I just don't think I could. I mean, I think I would want to say that I could, but no.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
did say that I
do it.
could, and I tried it. Because I was inspired by another author that we had on here, David Gain, and him and his partner write chapter by chapter. They send, one does one chapter, then it sends it to the
Okay.
next one, and then they, alternate chapters till they get to the book,
Yeah.
which sounded so easy. I went, oh, this I could do. I could do this. Rightio, found somebody that I thought I could work with. I swear to God. I said, I'll do the first chapter. We've got it. We've got this. We're totally on board. Wrote the first chapter, sent it to him, and then he started changing things. I went, that's it. Can't write with you. Fuck off. Done. No, out. I can't. Because I'm like, they go, oh no, the character should do this. And I'm like, but they didn't do that. They did that. You can't tell me what, oh no, out. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I seriously can't do it. So that's when I learnt that Sintra only writes with Sintra, apparently. That's it.
Yeah.
She doesn't play well with others. Mark, how would you be playing with other people in a completely book-related way?
How would I do? I don't think it would go well at all. I think part of the listen, I think part of the appeal of being a writer is like being in control of these people and these characters and these situations and things for me. So I don't think if I see like, oh yeah, I've got this idea, this needs to happen, and then this needs to happen, and someone else is like, no, I wanted this to happen. I'm like, no, you didn't hear me. This needs to happen.
Exactly. See?
Right.
And it's like I would just get too frustrated with that. I'd be like, no, you're not hearing me.
Exactly.
Right.
So no, that's not going to work.
See, that's exactly the same. It's
Because the characters came. The characters came from my imagination. Like I would really struggle with someone trying to tell me what my character would say or wouldn't say. Like I would really struggle with that. I would be like, no, no.
And that's what was happening.
I'm sitting here trying to think about it, like, whew.
Like,
No.
See, I think maybe this is why I work really well with Chris, because I do the words and he does the production.
See, but it's slightly different, isn't it?
Like tries to touch it.
That's a different role. It's like the author, the editor role. So you've got that. I think I could work. I think I could juggle that one. If they're not telling you what your character is doing, it's like they're not liking you right now.
The only time we've had a little bit of a discussion about it is when because he's in it as well, and he played a particular scene, and I was like, I'm not sure you've got that right in how you've played it. And we had this conversation because it's this very particular character, and I was like, I'm not sure he would behave like that. Basically, it sounds like he cares too much, and he wouldn't. And he sold it to me. He sold his performance to me, like the where he was coming from and everything. And now I'm like, yeah, okay, I see what you were doing, and actually it does work really, really well. But my first reaction to it was, nah, you've like the way you're doing this is just not right for the character.
See,
that's an interesting
I would
one.
go back to your original statement of you're not telling Emily what to do. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Nobody tells me what to do with my characters. Nah. I'm terrible. I'm very possessive over my characters. And it took me a long time to actually find an editor that would. Not that editors. I love them, and I love my editor with everything that I am. She's just fantastic. But it took me a while to find somebody that got the way I wrote. I do write differently to other people. My characters are very different. They're not I don't write cookie cutter books, but to get somebody that went, okay, I get, your level of humor or your level of weirdness. I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to make it look pretty. Okay, you can make it look pretty. You can take out like 50,000 commas that I've put in there because they looked nice. That it took me a while to find that relationship that works. And I believe that's what you're talking about too, Emily, is finding that it wouldn't work with just anybody. It needs to be that person that gets what you're doing and you get what they're doing, and to have that flexibility to work it out together and have a polite conversation. If it was me, it wouldn't be a polite conversation, but still, to work through the problem.
Yeah. That is exactly it. It's built on mutual respect at the end of the day, and also enthusiasm for the shared project, because you've both got to absolutely love it and bring stuff to the table to make it a thing. And, as long as there's the love there from both sides, as long as there's, the expertise there from both sides, and you both really dig what each other do for the project, I think that's the key. It's a special combination. It really is.
And feel that you're both contributing equally to it. Because as Mark was saying, nobody wants to be in that grade 8 science class where you've got a group of 4 and one person's doing all the work. We've all been there. We've all been there. It's terrible.
So bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have some fun to play with. Emily, are you ready to play a game with us?
Oh, I don't know. Am I ready to play a game?
The answer is probably no, but you're going to anyway. Well, at the end of saddle up. At the end of the book, we play a game called Booker Feud. We're high budget here, Emily. High budget.
High budget. Excellent.
Yes,
good.
Where it's like Family Feud, but for legality reasons, we call it Booker Feud. Where 100 Americans have been surveyed. Emily, you're going to be at a disadvantage from this. So am I. I'm Aussie, so some of the answers that the Americans give is just insane. But I will give you an advantage because I will let you join one of the teams. You can either team up with Mark or you can team up with Peyton.
Oh man, don't make me.
Oh, absolutely,
team.
absolutely.
Oh no, who's gonna? No, somebody else pick.
No, you've got to choose. I will give you a clue. I will give you a hint.
Card.
No fence sitting. Peyton does have an undefeated record against Mark, so that may help you choose to either go for the underdog or go for the winner.
Oh hell no, I'll go for the winner.
There you go. Team Peyton, it is. Peyton and Emily, team girl team. Mark, how do you feel about that? Mark?
No comment.
No comment, okay.
I'm fine. No, I'm fine. It's good. It's all right. It's good. I'm still going to win.
All right. So,
No, I'm good.
Of course, the guys are in.
It's got to be. It's got to be a legitimate win, because then if someone's on my side and I win, there's going to be like, oh, that's because of the other person. So no, this is good. You're gonna.
Okay, cool. I'm totally backing you, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, Emily and Peyton, what team name would you like?
Ooh, Emily, what is your favorite character's name?
Oh man. Tumbleweed. That is not an actual word, but that's what's happening in my brain right now.
There we go.
Team Tumbleweed?
We are Team Tumbleweed.
There you go.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
Team Tumbleweed. I like it. That's pretty much my brain as a standard. Mark, what team name would you like?
Well, I'm from Texas, so I'm going to keep with that whole Texas theme, Tumbleweed. I'm going to be Team Armadillo.
Armadillo. They are some of the most...
Do you guys know what an armadillo is?
Yeah, they are one of the most freakiest creatures. You guys think we have some weird-ass looking creatures. The armadillo, he's a strange one. He's a very bizarre looking beast.
Absolutely, definitely is. And it's very apt for me. So we're going to go with Team Armadillo.
Do you think the armadillo is worrying about his metabolism?
He's worried about not getting squashed as he crosses the road, which happens half the time. We have that in common.
There you go.
All
right. So I'm going to ask a question. There's 5 answers in front of me. It's a legitimate Family Feud question. So both Emily and myself cannot be blamed for the 5 American answers that have been thrown up. However, you got to try and get it. The people in our, of course, Brian, Sir, Tio, who else has wandered in there? There's a few. There was another name that I saw. Godfrey, good morning. Gloria, good morning. Anyone who wants to chuck in answers down there or suggestions for answers, by all means, contribute. We love it. All right. First team in with their name gets to go first, then we will alternate till we find a winner today. The question is, we're going to have fun. Name something you beat. Beat. B-E-A-T. Name something you beat.
Armadillo.
Armadillo. Team Armadillo. You're in first and get to go first. Name something you beat, Mark. Sir, behave yourself.
I'm going to say...
Jesus. Straight up. Come on. Goodness.
I was thinking the same thing, Tio. We're right in sync, buddy. I'm gonna say the drums.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
It's on the list, going right from the beginning, Mark. Well done, yes. Ding, ding, ding. However, it is number 5. It's the lowest on the list.
That's okay. I'm just working
yeah. I would have thought that it would have been number 1, but it is in fact not. It is number 5 on the list. So that might, I don't know, bring about more answers. I don't know, because I would have gone number 1, but I'm Aussie. So,
okay.
Although, in Aussie, down in Australia, of course, Sir's answer probably would have been number 1. Drums would have been number 2. Name something you beat. Team Tumbleweed. Emily and Peyton, of course, you can confer before you give me your final answer.
How do we confer? Okay, Peyton.
We can listen in. We're listening in.
Yeah, we can't do it privately. But let's see. Do you have any ideas? I have an idea, but what do you think?
I was going to say like an egg. Like you beat an egg.
You do beat an egg, yeah.
Well, or a carpet, but I was then thinking that's probably too English, and I wasn't going to say it out loud. I just said it out loud. Continue. What are your ideas?
I love it.
Well, of course, for me, you beat a team.
That's very... See, now this is why you're a winner.
So pick one of those. We'll either go with egg or team. I'll let you pick which one.
Damn.
You're gonna have to choose specific words. If you choose a word, I'm gonna have to pull you on that exact word. Just up for debate there.
Oh, so if you said opponent, you beat an opponent.
Yeah.
As opposed to a team. Because you might not always be up against a team. You might be up against an opponent.
Right.
Egg is better. Yeah, you know what? Egg has some merit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments.
I'm good. I know they're great down there. I love the boys when they get all involved. They're gorgeous. Name something you beat. I need a final answer, Team Tumbleweed.
Okay, Peyton, you taking responsibility.
We'll say egg.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be on the safe side.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It's on the list. Ding, ding, ding. It's number 2. Yes. Eggs are on the list at number 2. Interesting. I like it.
Nice.
Team Armadillo, you're already on the board. Can you keep the streak going?
Yes.
Name something you beat, Mark.
No pressure. Okay, so I was thinking this before it was said, and it was my number 2 answer. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to say opponent. I think it's on the board.
Is that your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
Final answer.
It's on the board. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, it's number 3.
Yes.
Opponent is number
Nice.
3.
I move it up.
Yeah,
Move it up.
2-1. Now look at you go, Mark. This could be your day. This could be your day, Mark.
Don't jinx me.
Okay, I'm
Shh.
trying.
Don't say that.
Team Tumbleweed. Team Tumbleweed. Name something you beat. So far we have eggs, we have opponent, and we have drums. We have 2 more answers to give. Number 1 and number 4.
Probably number 1 if it wasn't a drum, if it was like beat a. The only things I can think of are carpet or a bottom. And that's probably not on the.
I love that.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
Well,
Emily, I didn't know we were going that low. I like it.
Yes.
Well, anything below the waist really is, no. Yeah, also bottom is a very English way.
It's such a gorgeous way. I love it. It's so proper.
Something you beat. What do we beat? We beat. Yeah, that one's tricky. I'm gonna say we. I mean, this is an American term. I mean, we beat the clock.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say another one would be beat the weather, which is probably a very British one. Actually, thinking about this. It's when you drive but you miss the rain or you miss the storm, you beat the weather.
Yeah, this was asked to Americans. We would be like, what?
Yeah. It's
Or do I do appreciate though running out to get the washing off the line before the rain hits because I beat the rain. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See, you beat the rain.
But I'm Aussie. It's sort of, I'm yeah. These are Americans.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've had this problem before.
Okay, so
name something you beat. Team Tumbleweed.
Go with time. That's quite good. Bit the clock. Oh, sorry. The clock.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. It's on the list. It's number 4. Beat the clock.
Yes.
Beat the clock.
Okay.
We have a tiebreaker situation. A tiebreaker situation.
Wait, you mean, okay, so the one that we haven't answered yet is the
number 1.
answer?
Yes, absolutely. Number 1 answer is still on the board. Now, tiebreaker situations are, I ask the question, first team in with their team name gets to have the first stab at it. I will give a clue, and once I've repeated the question, you come in with your team name and let's see who wins today. I'm so excited. Mark is so close. So close. No, he's biting at it. All right. The clue is, how do I do it without giving it away? It has already been said once today. The term that they use in the number 1 position would be different depending on what country you live in, but same process. And I would probably accept different answers or different words for this particular one. All right, that's as much clue as I'm giving. The question is, name something you beat.
Armadillo.
Oh, Mark, you're going for the win. You're going for the win. All right. What is your answer?
I kind of like, and I feel like this is an expression. Maybe this is not. I don't know if this is going to be it, but I hope. I'm going with you, Brian. We're going to say beat a dead horse.
That's probably it. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah. Is that your final answer, Mark?
Yeah, I'm going to go with dead horse.
Not on the list. No dead horses on the list. I thought that was a very Aussie term. I didn't know that was an American term.
Oh, it's here as well.
Oh, really? It's across the board.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Brian. For you too. Yeah. Right. All right. So, Team Tumbleweed, you have a chance to swoop in and take the win with this answer. This is, of course, Peyton, you need this to remain undefeated on What the
I
Book. So the
know.
pressure is a little bit.
Oh.
Name something you
Do we get to?
beat. You have already said it. That's my clue. Not you,
Oh God.
Emily.
Oh, I have.
Me.
And there's those tumbleweeds.
Yeah, and there's the tumbleweed right there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I mean, you said bottom. You said rug.
I did say bottom. I missed out.
I like the word bottom. It's not used enough. Bottom. I like it.
Bottom.
It doesn't have quite the same thing as like smack my ass, daddy. It's just smack my bottom, daddy. It doesn't really sound quite the same, does it? But okay, cool. Go back to the question. Name something.
Very
Not
proper.
with that attitude.
Very proper way.
It really depends how you see it, doesn't it? Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna not speak anymore.
Oh my goodness. Name something you beat.
So I've said carpet before. I said carpet, and I said, bottom. Again, this is now the only thing I can think of that I've ever said in the world, and deeply unfortunate. What else did I say? Are those the two things?
I'm going to need an answer.
Carpet or rug. I think
you think it's carpet?
Carpet or rug. I mean, I think it depends on like where you live, like what you call it.
Well, you're the American. Tell me.
Yeah, I would call it a rug. Like carpet is nailed down. I can't, you know what I mean? So I would call it a rug.
Okay.
What's your final answer, Team Tumbleweed?
I guess that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
okay.
Rug?
Rug/carpet.
Ding, ding, ding. It's on the list. It's number one. Woo! Team Tumbleweed is the winner. I'm so sorry, Mark. I'm so incredibly sorry, Mark.
That's okay. I feel like what would probably be number 6 on the list, which is the redheaded stepchild.
Right.
Because they always pick me.
Is what? I'll give you. I know what number 6 is if you want to guess it.
Oh.
What's number 6, Mark?
That probably would be my guess.
What?
That would be my guess. Redheaded stepchild.
Hey.
Just because that's a popular.
That's me. No, Fate. Fate was number 6. You beat Fate. Number 7 was Beat the Odds.
No, nobody says that. Come on.
I thought the whole point of Fate is that you couldn't beat it.
Beat Fate.
Yeah, exactly.
There was also Beat the Gavel, and I'm like, I don't know who's beating the gavel, but okay, cool.
Oh.
That's a court thing. Yeah. But anyway, congratulations, Team Tumbleweed, Emily and Peyton, on your win today. Peyton, you remain undefeated on What the Book. Congratulations to both of you. It's a prestigious award to have What the Book, Book a Few Champions.
Yes, I need like a banner.
Look, I'm going to do like today or
my cover artist, like put it on my banner, my Twitter banner.
Tonight I'm going to do a little picture up, a little trophy to give you. I'm sorry, Mark. Commiserations.
I will expect it in the shop.
There you go. Commiserations, Mark, Team Armadillo, on your loss today. You did fight well. You fought well too. You did well.
You did.
Yeah. I gave it a good go.
You came out running and just slipped right at that very last moment. But, bottom was my favourite answer too, Brian. Absolutely. Bottom should have been on the list.
I really thought that they had a chance to be on there, but I thought there's no way Americans would say bottom.
No.
Just the word.
Yeah.
More's the pity. Now this is your call to action for this show. Go forth. And
spread thy bottom? That doesn't sound...
Well, now I'm thinking about it. Probably not the best thing to do.
Everyone go out and beat a bottom.
Beat a bottom.
I mean, I was thinking use the word bottom instead of, but no, it doesn't even, no. it's 1 a.m. with me, so we can just talk that one up till 5 minutes.
The boys are fully in support of it. They're loving the idea of it. So well done. Oh my goodness, we have
changing minds.
Thank you so much, Emily Inkpen, for being here on What the Book today. You have been an absolute delight to speak to.
Thank you very much. It has been absolutely brilliant fun.
The Dex Legacy, of course, an audio drama. Look it up. Get on her Twitter feed. You can get over to emilyinkpen.com. Check it all out. There's all the links there. Get on board. Go listen. I know I'm going to be absolutely listening. It's been my new drive to work. I put it on and as I drive.
Curious.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to hear how this works. I'm completely intrigued. You've absolutely hooked me, Emily.
I hope you enjoy.
We will let you know. We will absolutely will love it, I'm sure. Peyton Storm, of course, in the house. Yes. We love you. Hell's Bells, people. Hell's Bells. Go buy it.
Yes.
It released just a few days ago.
Yes. And a quick plug.
Yeah.
All three. I have book one, hard pressed. I have the short story 1.5, which is Home by Christmas. Both of those are free through Sunday.
Free.
And Hell's Bells is only 99 cents.
Stop it.
So you can get all three for 99 cents.
Stop it.
Yes. 3
for under $1,
yes,
people. 3 for under $1. Go grab them now.
Through Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Grab them, read them, review them. We all love reviews. They feed us. We're like little word vampires. We can't get enough. MB Davis, Mark, loving you.
Yes. Love you.
Oh.
Thanks everyone. Emily, it's been so great having you on the show. Peyton, congratulations on the book launch. That's amazing.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
And
I'm kicking your ass next week, though, just so you know. Or your bottom, whichever.
Hello.
Something is happening.
Isn't it funny?
Like
you just say,
you better come back.
You say kick your ass, and I just go, oh yeah. You say kick your bottom, I'm like, ooh, now we've got kinky. Hello.
Well, all right. I'll kick your ass. We'll just stick with that.
Isn't that funny? That's really funny how a certain word goes. Commit to it. I love it.
Yeah.
Commit to it.
Totally, it takes on a whole different tone.
I love it. All right.
It does.
My gorgeous book is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Your contributions mean everything to us. You're listening to us. Bookers, we love you. We love you involved, supporting, and we are here, of course, to support you guys. This is what this show is all about, is showcasing indie authors and creatives throughout the community. This is what we do. This is what we love to do. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Emily. Love. Bookers, stay safe this week. We will see you all again next weekend. Same podcast time, channel, etc. Different podcast guests. Next week, it's going to be a doozy. You might want to tune in. Always tune in. We're good. We're hilarious. Damn it.
Always.
All right. Until then, stay safe. We love you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.